Hi, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Imelda Chinecherem Ani, and I am a psychologist. I've always had the intentions of having this channel, share knowledge, get to solve our very little problems, and this is it. I'm actually doing it right now. Okay, as you can see from the name of the channel, Neighborhood Psychologist, I am your new neighbor, a psychologist who is your new neighbor. I just moved into your neighborhood recently, and you know what? I came with a truckload of goodness. So I'll be moving from door to door to drop this goodness, and I hope it gets your turn very soon. And what I mean by this goodness is that I'll be talking about everything concerning psychology and how it relates to your life every day. How you respond to situations, how you solve certain problems that you're facing, especially when they have to do with your mind, how they are, your interpersonal relationship, your workplace, different aspects of life, anything at all that can relate your life to psychology is what we do here. And this channel is not just for everyday people, okay, even though I'm going to be talking about everyday people, but it's also for students of psychology. Perhaps there are things that you are trying to learn, especially those that are just starting, those in the college, you're trying to learn something about psychology and you're finding it difficult. Here, we're going to be breaking down a whole lot of things for you. Even for people who intend to study psychology, before I went into studying psychology, I have had to make some research. So I'm going to help you to narrow down your options to psychology and which aspects you would likely want to major in if you want to continue. Finally, we're going to be bringing people from different walks of life, bringing stories. I'm going to be telling a lot of stories. Yes, bringing stories because we are trying to find out why people behave the way they do, right? That's what psychology is all about. So we're going to be bringing people to the channel. We're going to be telling stories of what's going on and how to tackle some problems that you're faced with in your environment. I hope you subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification button, like my videos, share them, invite your friends, because you never know whose life you are saving by just sharing this video. Okay, that is it for the introduction. I hope you got a thing or two. Now let's go into what I call the topic of the day. Okay, now there are so many misconceptions about psychology that I would like to clear out in the first video. Okay, if you ask what psychology is and is not, can you say? Alright, I'm going to be talking about 5 things psychology or psychologists are not. Okay, that is our topic for today. First is psychology is not philosophy. Yeah, there are a lot of persons that when you talk about psychology, maybe you tell them you study psychology or you majored in psychology, and they'll be wondering, so you are very good in arguments and all. It's not like philosophy is all about argument, but then I think they argue a lot through questioning, critical reasoning, and critical rationalism. Okay, so but psychology, it's not too far from that, but it's a bit far from that because psychology is a science. Okay, psychology is the study of human behavior and mental processes. That is to say, psychology gets to study things that are happening within your mental processes, how you process information, the chemical balances, the things that are involved in processing information, and your behavior, why you behave the way you do, why you talk the way you do, why you smile the way you do, why you laugh the way you do, why you respond to people, react to situations the way you do, and how it affects others and how other people's behavior affects you. That's about psychology. Psychology is not for arguments, it's not philosophy, it's not just a query into the nature of the universe and all. It's about you and the person next to you. Okay, that's about psychology. Now, number 2 we are considering is psychology is not mind reading. A lot of persons will be like, oh, don't read my mind when you tell them I'm a psychologist. No, that's not. Psychology is not mind reading at all. Psychology has to do with observation. We observe a lot. Psychologists are great observers. We observe things that are happening in the society. We even go the extra mile of carrying out surveys, case studies, try to gather information about things that are happening, even about an individual. We make observation, ask questions, interviews, gather all the information we need, and with the information we make evaluations. From the evaluations we make analysis, and then we can predict a particular behavior. So we don't read the mind. We don't just see you and we say this guy is aggressive just because you exhibited an aggressive behavior. No, we try to observe you in different settings. Could there be a reason why you behave the way you behave? Was there something that triggered it? What was the cause of it? So we don't just go straight to the, we read minds and no, we make observations, and from there we make our conclusions. I hope you got that. Alright, the third thing psychology is that psychology is not just about treating the mentally ill. Okay, psychology cuts across many different areas, which includes your life on the offices, in your workplace, your life, people's life, things like job satisfaction. Are you satisfied in the job that you're doing? How do you get motivated? How do you get satisfied in your job? How do you relate with your spouse? How do you make the best out of your children? How do you train your kids to become the best in the society? Psychology cuts across different areas. There are clinical psychologists who those areas of psychology are those that focus on mental illnesses, and also that's just a branch of psychology. You see that psychology is not about treating mental illness alone. Okay, some persons, when you tell them they're a psychologist, they'll be like, oh, you treat mad people, just like we say in Nigeria. But that's not all that is to psychology. We don't just treat mental illnesses, we also get involved in things happening in normal life settings. Okay, another thing is you need to know that psychology is not magic. I know some of you know about psychic, about palms, people who read the palms, people who, those are not psychology. Although you can call them pseudo psychology, they are not pure psychology. Okay, those ones exist, but psychology exists on another premise. Okay, it's not it's not magic, it's not miracle. It's just whatever we get from observation analysis, from critical thinking, from theories and all we use to make our evaluations. Psychology is not and will not be magic. Alright, finally, which is the fifth one, psychology is a science. A lot of persons say that psychology is not a science. There are a lot of arguments, but I would have to tell you this, that psychology follows a systematic and scientific process. Okay, if you know your sciences, just the same way that science deals with systematic. Do you know we study statistics also in psychology? You should know that we do calculations and all. So we collect data, we analyze data, we make observations with the data, and we bring you our conclusions. So that is it about psychology being a science. Now you know what psychology is not and what psychology is. Next time on this video, we are going to bring you more about psychology. Thanks for viewing. If you loved this video, if you love what we do, if you enjoyed anything or if you learned anything, do comment. Put down in the comments below, write something, or if there is something you do not understand from this video, comments that, or if there are things you would like to know about psychology, I would also like to know in the comments, so that in subsequent videos we will bring that to you. Once more, thank you for viewing, thank you for taking out the time to watch this video. Please subscribe. Let's see how we grow together, and don't forget to share. Like I said earlier, a lot of persons might be waiting for this, a lot of persons might need this, so share so that they can partake. Catch ya. Thank you. Bye.